Okay, so this episode, folks, mid-wheelbase Nissan Patrol build. We're doing some cab work, we're cutting some guards, we're cutting some drive shafts, and we're starting to fit stuff up. Enjoy the episode. Down to it now.
Grind your shit.
Okay.
Hey! He's running!
Hey folks, right, so back into poly, and now we've got that motor running. So next part is we're just waiting for winch steel, like steel plates to turn up to be able to make the winch mount. So we decided we'd get into cab. So we started whipping at cab wiring. We're thinking about doing something funky with vacuum. So we've had problems with the TD42 alternators. These alternators seem to clog up with mud a lot. So what we're thinking about doing is replacing that with a Bosch alternator, mount that up here, ditch the vacuum pump altogether, and go with an electric vacuum, which we're not sure will work, but that's an electric vacuum pump out of a 1 Series Beamer. So it's the equivalent amount of vacuum. We'll put it on a sender or a little sensor to switch on and off, and that'll be a vacuum. We're also going to probably pull the dash, strip out some of this wiring and sort that out. And right now Stewie is just making up a rear parcel tray for across the bottom there. Stewie's hooking in, you can see his little bloody skinny little head there sticking up, making up a brace going here. Get that in, get the floor down, doors off, pull all the wiring out of them. That. It's just a little panel. It's got a step out to go around the seatbelt mount, so he's got a little step and he's grabbing all that little fancy. So that'll just be a flat tray there, because in Rosie we use that and we put a box in here, and that's where we store strops and everything, so you can basically just reach around behind you and grab them out. So that's what we're going to do on this as well. Today's job is make up a ply tray for that bit of steelwork that Stewie did. I'll probably spray the inside of the cab, I think. Just give it a coat of paint just to clean her up, and then we'll paint the ply and screw that into place, and that gives you a tray for putting shit behind the seats and a back wall to screw electrics and whatever. What ply's real good, you just screw stuff to it. So that's the job. Let's see how we get on. See if we can scrub it out. So let's see if this works, eh? What we got? So it kind of works. Okay, so I got that trimmed up. And I also put a bit of a bevel on it to fit that back wall, so let's see how she fits. Oh yeah! What are we going to do? So, it's not every day that a previous owner leave something for you that's bloody nice. Aluminium plate covered in vinyl, which is kind of nice, but fancy for a bush truck, but hey. And those nice little Allen key screw heads. Made up a back panel, made up a floor panel. She's bloody looking quite fancy. We're all about lightweight around here. We really only want a demister and maybe a heater, but demister. And we'll be printing some of that wiring out and get back to just that centre unit, get that's now running pretty nice in terms of all the openers and shutters. So we'll just re-hook up the vents so it's just pumping out hot air. We're kind of into it. Stu's here and we're going for it. So those long arms are now in. We're into shortening drive shaft, so there's the drive shaft. We've just measured it up and done our numbers. Got to take out about 255 mil. Who has already done the butchery. So we've cut and pulled the plug out, like that. We've cut the 255 off, which is that. We've pulled the cardboard out of the inside, which is apparently a thing to stop vibrations and sound. And we're just in the process of gonna try and rephase this back into here to phase up with that. We've marked all our lines so we know where it goes. And we've watched a YouTube video, which of course is gospel. And I'm gonna get this thing fitted up and then put a dial gauge on it to square it up, is our plan. Where are we at, Stu? You're about to tap that in.
I'm going to do the very important job of cutting this bit of cardboard.
Excellent work. Do you want to put a little message in there? Well, for future people.
Oh, in the cardboard.
Well,
yeah, that's a good idea.
Why don't we write a little message to ourselves?
That's a great
So
idea.
one day when we break this drive shaft, we can pull the cardboard out. I was hoping that the builders would have put a little picture on it.
Yeah.
We'll put you jokers
What are
up.
you going to write?
I don't know. Something, you know,
Maybe
like,
just like hit outdoors in New Zealand and then the date.
yeah, hook us up. Or a picture too. What
Yeah.
about the old house with seagulls and a mountain range?
We don't have enough time for drawing houses, Ken. You've got to build a truck.
So we're just trying to chamfer this tube. These plugs, we've never done this before, but they are tight fit. So where we want to go is Stu's just taking the inside edge off this just to give it something to ride in on. And then this is pretty cleaned up. And then we're going to try and drive that in. Then we'll drop the universals into it, put them in that end, and actually set the thing up, put it in the truck. Then we'll run a dial gauge on the tube, spin it, and try and get, you know, less than 10 thou run out is apparently the game plan. So when we had a look at the inside of this, just in here, and we just put the mic over it, what were we at? 85.5, 86.5.
Yeah.
So there's a mil. They've flared at a mil. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot when you're trying to drive a plug into a steel tube. If that's a mil smaller, ain't going. This is probably 3 mil wall, and there's no way we're driving that plug in. So instead of us flaring the pipe, we're going to take half a mil off the plug. We'll take a half a mil off the thing. That's just one of those times where you wish you had a lathe. Had we shortened it mid-tube, that wouldn't have been a problem, but then we would have had a cut and a weld mid-tube, which we don't kind of like. We've got these ready to go, so that's new uni in the gearbox end, because that's not going to get hot. Old uni in the diff end, so we can set it up just to get that run out right. But so we just tighten this up and we'll see. We've got about 50 mil play up there, so that's about right. And we're just doing her up and see what happens.
It needs to be there.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to go around.
Yep. Ken.
We're looking pretty good, Stuart.
I reckon we're with it. Yeah, that's it.
It's a full revolution.
We got to about 9 thou.
So we just got it lucky. So we've knocked this on.
No, we didn't, Ken. We're good.
And we're at like 15 thou off. So we watched this video, this old dude who builds custom cars and stuff. He's like, if you're within phase, that you're within 10 thou, you're good. Now we are well within 10 thou. So I don't know what on the thing, right? One big number to the next big number. And we're less than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's that? 5 thou? Yeah, it must
Yeah,
be, right?
yeah,
so
yeah,
we're
yeah.
at like 5 thou.
Yeah.
We really know our measurements around here. So we're at about 5 thou on a full rotation. So that means we're well and truly in phase and aligned. So we're pretty stoked with this. It just We just
Made me shit myself. I broke it! I broke the car!
so you see how that needle's just floating. We're probably
There is a low spot, but I think it's just the tube. Like,
it's got a little dent in it.
okay, so that's our high point. I want to tack the high point, I think.
Got one tack on.
You want to tell the people what we've done, Ken?
We put one tack on. Carry on.
Good.
We're just checking. But we're at 2,000.
2.
There's the hollow there.
Yeah.
And it starts there.
No, it starts there.
Yeah, and just roll it through, Stu. So we're at 10, 20 mil.
Now, 4, 5, 6,
Roll through.
7, almost 8.
Almost 8. Keep rolling.
And then it just comes back. So it's over, I don't know, what is that? 40 mil?
Yeah.
30 or 40 mil?
We should have put a pencil mark on. Hold on. So what we found is when we go round on the pipe, we're at about 2,000. 10's okay. 2's fairly amazing, but we're lucky. But there's like a low spot in the pipe, and it only runs for about 40 mil on the pipe, but everywhere else on the pipe is within 2,000. So we don't think the pipe's kind of kinked up or down, because if it was, it'd be equidistance, a problem on the immediate opposite side. This is just almost like a divot in the pipe, but it's maybe 4,000, something like that. So it takes you, if you're 2 or 3 off, takes you up to 7. 10's okay, so we're kind of going with it, and we've got 2 tacks on, so. There's the divot there, I think.
No, because I zeroed it.
Oh, I see.
Oh, maybe I
No,
zeroed it
you're
on the
right, you're
divot.
right. Yeah,
Might have
Okay.
zeroed it on the divot.
we're at 2 or 3 there.
Yeah. That's almost a full rotation. I think we're getting back in the divot very
Okay.
shortly.
Yeah, keep going to the divot. Yeah, we're in the divot now.
Yeah.
See how quick? 4 good tacks on it. We're planning on the idea that it's not going to go anywhere now. But we're going to still. So, while Stewie's welding it, we're just sort of hoping that we don't get any pull at all. But that plug is a really tight fit in the pipe. Like, we had to bash it with a hammer to get it in there. And then we've got 4 good tacks on it. And when we tacked it, each time we tacked it under the car, when we ran it through the dial gauge after every tack, the tacks didn't pull it or move it at all. So that says the plug is locking it into place. So we'll just wait for this to cool down. So Stu's got that fixed up. Pretty happy with that, like really happy actually. Good to have it done. So now we are doing some body work. That guard is going to get a bit of work, a bit of narrowing. Hey? That's going to look good. We're going to pull them in. We're going to pull them in about 60 mil. So the front corner of the guard will be basically right up against the inner guard.
Oh, fire! Oh!
Kid, you're a fucking genius.
What have you done?
I'm smart. I impress myself sometimes.
Yeah? I think you impressed someone.
I come up with good ideas and then I surpass them with better ones.
Far out.
Yeah.
Have you actually done anything, like?
Yeah. Warrior, King is a bloody master. He should be crowned king of the world. Alright.
be a bloody driveshaft installer. G'day, you're all waked up, man. What's that? Have I got some deals for you? I'll put it all.
Wet your pants when you see this, Stuart.
I doubt it, because I've already wet my pants.
You gotta go, Ken. You're the fucking genius.
If you don't get. Fuck yeah, that's slick.
Hey.
Where's the genius pit? How?
Right here.
This is the idea that we had before.
I know, and I just executed it.
Oh yeah, well done. Yeah, look good.
If we take this,
To the bank,
we wang this in somewhere there.
tack it.
Well, we need to grind all the clip off everything.
Yeah, that's okay, we can do that.
And then we play with this bit.
Yeah. What are you going to do about this?
Hit it.
Yeah.
So what I've done, that guy was down here, and we have not enough clearance there and not enough clearance there. So now I'm going up at the front, and I can take him up like this, and I'm going to pin him all the way along that guard edge there, and it gives him more clearance there and way more clearance over the tyre. So here was the game plan, and so far so good. Got to do a little bit of finessing, but that looks like I've got 6 inches of lift, but I don't. I have about 2, maybe 3. So when I've measured my bumps, I need about 170mm for bump, and I've got about 230mm of clearance in the tyre there, so I think we're okay. And then this bit here, we're going to take a wedge out of here and fold this and trim this a bit more. The front guard's narrowed up too, so we get quite a bit more tyre in the front. That looks factory.
Let's have a look.
That looks factory, Stuart.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool.
That's factory. Okay, so I've just marked those up. If you can see that. But let's start chopping and see what happens. Okay, bit of an update. So those 2 slots. So this one, so what I'm doing is I'm overlapping that slot that I had there, and then what I do is I keep the lip and I tuck this underneath this bit, and then I'm just scribing this guy down here to there, and then I'll have to fill this. How do I get around this bit? I don't know yet. Probably use a hammer. Okay, so making progress. She's cut and tucked, and I've just got a couple of tacks in there that can come off actually. So, yeah, a bit of a bulge here. Nothing we can't push around. That will push in just like this one has. So a bit of tappy tappy. I've got my panel beating hammers here. Those 2, they do the job. That's my dolly and my hammer, and that's just my hammer. It'll do, right? So that gives you an idea of what I'm aiming for. So just pull that curve out really. Getting cold now. Bloody heater's full noise. We just patted ourselves on the back after a couple of wakachangies. Stu's ready to bugger off.
Oh.
Arms are in. On that other side, I need to do something here, right? Because even when this is pushed in, you've kind of got this gap here. So I'll show you what I've gone with. First of all, I add a bit of this, which is now like that. Which is now like that. So these loops back in here will bolt in there. That will pull in, and that will pull in, and that will sit like that. So it's just a nice way to finish that guard. I think it'll do. So, starting to stitch it up after a fair bit of welding and a bit of grinding. So, this guard is starting to stick. So guys, that's probably calling it on this episode. We've got this guard just about sorted out. Next episode, we'll be getting stuck into those doors. See you next time.